In the 1940s, the question of U.S. international leadership was not a new one, but it remained greatly contested. President Roosevelt's principal legacy was his ability to navigate not only the war, but also the contest of ideas at the heart of U.S. foreign policy, and still to offer an architecture for U.S. overseas engagement. It was not perfect, but from its foundations would emerge NATO. Some 20 years earlier, on the heels of the Great War of 1914–18, President Wilson had sought to make the United States a cornerstone of global collective security. The League of Nations followed, but Wilson failed to secure the U.S. Senate's ratification of the League's treaty. The country's international leadership role was thus postponed, hopefully for good, according to U.S. isolationists who held that the United States should stay out of Europe's wars and economic rivalry. In 1935, these political forces led Congress to pass the first of several neutrality acts that forbade U.S. assistance to any party to war, whether victim or aggressor. The driving forces behind these acts did not vainly imagine that the United States could be cordoned off from the world. Rather, their ambition was to minimize entanglement in Europe's power politics and to promote a new age of cooperative international law and organization. How to balance these ideals and the reality of aggression by powerful and resourceful gangsters, in the President's words, was a challenge that fell to Roosevelt himself. He had been elected on a platform of domestic renewal, the New Deal, and did not favor international entanglement. However, the revisionism of Germany, Italy, and Japan, and the weakness of the League of Nations pulled him into the ring. At first, he sought to modify Congress's neutrality acts to allow the President himself discretionary powers to assist victims of aggression. Ultimately, he would chart a course for U.S. global engagement that far exceeded any past principle of neutrality. Roosevelt's political condition was, in fact, a privileged one. To be sure, domestically he would have to sway public opinion, continue to win elections, and persuade Congress that some type of involvement would further U.S. interests. This was, by any measure, a formidable task. However, he was privileged by geography and U.S. muscle power. The war would only take place overseas, and the United States could afford to offer itself as the arsenal of democracy, as Roosevelt put it in December 1940. Importantly, Roosevelt was also privileged in terms of the scope he had for political imagination. European and Asian belligerents found that the war permeated the very social and political fabric of their societies. For them, there could be no return to yesterday's peace.